What's going on, everybody? This is the Gorilla Man here, one half of the Ben and Bryan show. Doing things a little bit different this week. Ben had some personal issues to take care of, so I'm running solo today. So I'm going to be giving both my picks and his picks, and I figured I didn't feel like freaking editing this week, so might as well just go live and just do it all at once. So getting right into this, my week one or week six picks. Uh, I'm going to go ahead and we're going them side by side. So I'm taking between the Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to be taking the Minnesota Vikings, even though Cook is going to be out this game. Um, Falcons they're not the same team. They just have not played well for the last 5 games. Like Ben said in one of our conversations, like he said he's not going to pick them unless they play the Jets because he doesn't think that there's any way that they can possibly win. So that's who I'm pretty much going with too. And Ben's also taking the same thing as me. He's going with the Vikings. So same scenario. It's at home. Vikings do tend to play a little bit better at home. Falcons are just some choking ass motherfuckers. So. All right, moving on to the next game. We have the Chicago Bears traveling all the way to the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to take the Bears on this one. I think their defense-wise, they are playing very well. Can Big Dick Nick freaking get it together to beat the Panthers? I guess we'll find out. Panthers have been doing really good. I mean, they're a hard team to figure out this season. This week especially is extremely hard to pick because there's a lot of teams that are really proving themselves this so far. So yeah, I'm going with the Bears, and then Ben took the Carolina Panthers, mainly because Teddy Two Gloves. He's been playing really well, he's proving to be a really good quarterback this season. So that's going to be my pick and Ben's. So moving on to the next one, it's the Cincinnati Bengals at the Indianapolis Colts. Both Ben and I are taking the Colts in this one. Philly Rivers, I mean, he has been struggling, but he's doing a lot better than he had been this time last year with the Chargers. So I think he should be able to beat the Bengals. Bengals are pretty banged up. I know Burrow's been playing some really good ball, but it's just too hard for me to determine how he'll do the rest of the way out. So we both took the Colts in this one. So we both took the Colts in this one. So moving on to the next game, we have the Cleveland Browns traveling to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This one, Ben and I are both opposite on this one, but this one's going to be extremely tough to determine who the heck is going to win this because Browns are playing some damn good ball right now. And the Steelers, they really haven't played anybody. The one matchup that they would have played had it happened would have been the Titans. That would have pretty much proved if they were for real or not this season. No disrespect to the Steelers. They've been playing really good ball for the opponents that they played against. I just think that the Browns, they're figuring stuff out. Baker Mayfield is starting to prove me and Ben both wrong. I'm thinking that they're secretly watching our channel because we've been talking a lot of shit on the Browns. Ben more than me, but it's still pretty funny. Like we started running our mouth about them, and then all of a sudden they just come out of the woodwork and start winning. So to get to my pick, I'm gonna be taking the Browns in this one. I just think that even though that Chubb went down with his injury, they didn't lose anything. I mean, because he got Hunt has been running phenomenally. I mean, Jarvis Landry and OBJ have been playing really well too. Um, it's just, their defense played really good too. So I don't know. It's hard to pick against the Steelers because they are a really good team, but I got to go with the Browns. Browns are the hot team right now. Steelers haven't. If they beat the Browns, then I'll say okay, they are starting to get proving me wrong, and they're a lot more of a legitimate team. Ben's going with the Steelers though, so he may just because their defense is really freaking good, and the Browns haven't really played anybody with the defense yet. So hey, I don't know. It's a coin flip. So I'm going to go with the Browns. He's going with the Steelers. So let's go ahead and move on to the next game. We have the Denver Broncos going all the way to the New England Patriots. We're both going with the Patriots. Broncos just released Blake Broyles. Doesn't make any sense. They brought him in for about a week and then released him. No freaking idea. Just the Broncos defense is still really good. I just seen that 3 more players for the Patriots tested positive. Sonny Michel and 2 other players that I don't personally know much about. But Sonny Michel, he hasn't been playing for a while yet, anyways, because of injury. So, but they're all 3 on. I think that the Patriots with Cam Newton coming back, I think they find a way to win this. It'd probably be a low-scoring game. I don't think it's going to be as high as a lot of people are projecting it to be. But I just think Patriots are going to probably win this one, unfortunately. So moving on to the next game, we have the Detroit Lions traveling all the way to Jacksonville to play the Jacksonville Jaguars. Both of these teams have been struggling. So, I don't know. Ben's taking the Jaguars. I guess he got a little bit of Gardner Minshew left magic or whatever into him. So I'm taking the Lions in this one. Even though the Lions are still playing pretty poorly. Jacksonville, are they going into tank mode? They're just not playing like I figured they would. So we'll find out. I guess we'll see how well the Jaguars play against the Detroit Lions. I'm taking the Lions. Ben's taking the Jags. So moving on to the next game, we have the the Houston Texans traveling to the Tennessee Titans. Both Ben and I are taking the Titans in this one. They're playing some really good ball. They came out this last week, played against a really good Bills team. Maybe not a very good defensive team, but they made Allen look terrible. I mean, they whooped their ass. It ain't really saying a whole lot because Tennessee's been off for so long for COVID, so they had 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks worth of rest. The Bills kind of went into this game thinking, okay, they're thinking of the next game against playing the Chiefs, and they got their asses handed to them for it. So, so I'm pretty much taking the Titans. Ben's taking the Titans. Should be a blowout. Titans win big. So, all right, moving on to the next game. We have the Washington No-Name Skins traveling all the way to MetLife Stadium to play the New York Giants. Ben and I both took the Giants in this one. I just think that the way that the Giants have been playing, they've been really close every step of the way. They are so freaking close to winning. Almost won last week against the Cowboys, which isn't really saying much because the Cowboys are the Cowboys. They don't have a defense. But with Dak going down with that dislocated ankle and fracture or whatever else happened, I mean, it was horrific. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That sucks for Dak. But the Giants, the the no-name skins, they're just not. They're not a really well put together team right now. You have Hawkins that basically just Dwayne Hoskins or whatever. He just freaking unfollowed the team. Like he's just throwing a big, hissy fit, kind of like a, woe is me. And like I explained to Ben a few weeks ago on one of our podcasts, you don't want a quarterback that's like a pouty, like all me and no team type person. Like you're throwing your teammates under the bus, and I just don't think that he is a leader. He's not a true leader. Like Alex Smith, he's a true leader. He may have came in and didn't play, up to par, but I mean, he's lucky to even be alive, let alone playing football right now. That was definitely a feel-good moment last week, or was it 2 weeks? I'm sorry, I can't remember if it was last week or the week before when Alex Smith came in. It's still the other dude's start, but it's still fun to see the fact that Alex Smith, recovered enough to actually come out and play for a few snaps. So we're both going to the Giants on that one. So moving on to the next game, we have the Baltimore Ravens traveling all the way to the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles have been playing some decent ball, but I think it's just mainly because Carson Wentz knows that his time as a starter for the Eagles is pretty much coming close to an end. Maybe a few more years left, but I just think that they're just wanting to move on from him. That's just how I feel about it. Ravens are playing some damn good ball right now. I know they got their asses handed to them against the Chiefs, but that's pretty much the only team that they struggled against. And the Chiefs have been struggling. I mean, they just lost this last week to the Las Vegas Raiders. That's going to take me forever to get used to that. But they lost to the Raiders this last weekend, so I think that they're going into that game heavily motivated against the Bills. But anyway, so both Ben and I have the Ravens in this one. I think it'll be a blowout. I think the Ravens are going to just pull away and destroy them. All right, so moving on to my team, the Miami Dolphins. So we got the New York Jets traveling all the way to the Dolphins. I feel like this is going to be a trap game. Like I've told Ben for numerous weeks, like the Jets will probably win one game this year, and it will be against my Dolphins because we always go into this game and I see a bunch of Dolphin fans, all you motherfuckers on Facebook, wherever, you guys need to quit fucking talking up our team so much. Like quit being so damn overconfident because it always comes back to bite us in the ass. Yes, we whooped the fuck out of Ben's 49ers last weekend. What was it, 43-17 or something like that? That's probably another reason why Ben didn't want to come on to this week's show because he knows how bad I was going to ream him. And he's just embarrassed because his team's trash. But, that's just me. But anyways, like I said, I feel like this is going to be a trap game. I'm definitely not taking the Jets, though. I have confidence in my team to win this one, but it would not shock me if the Dolphins lose just because we're coming off of that huge victory on the road against the 49ers, last year's Super Bowl team. I'm just so worried that we're going to get overconfident and come out and fall flat on our face. I could see it happening. I mean, the Jets just released Le'Veon Bell, which wasn't really too much of a factor. I mean, he played 15 games, I think, and they paid him like $28 million for like 15 games or some shit. And they still have to pay him for next year and the year after. So like he screwed the Jets over so bad. Adam Gase is such a moron. They were trying to trade Le'Veon Bell to the Patriots, but they wouldn't bite. And of all teams to get better, so he goes to the Chiefs. So that's definitely kind of like a goddamn, what more do they need? I mean, these guys are already freaking playing really good ball. Not last week, but now you got another weapon. You got Clyde the Glide, uh, and now you have a 1-2 punch with him and Bell. So, um, with that being said, I think the Dolphins should win this one. Maybe a touchdown, maybe a touchdown and a field goal lead, 10 points. So we're both taking the Dolphins on this one. So moving on to the next game, which is a 4:00 game, well, Central Time. The Green Bay Packers traveling all the way to the Buccaneers. Both Ben and I are taking the Green Bay Packers in this one. I don't know. Buccaneers. I mean, Tom Brady has owned Aaron Rodgers over the years, but he's not playing for the Patriots anymore. Last week, when the Buccaneers lost, that was hilarious. I'm sorry, but that was funny. There's only 4 downs in the game of football. Well, 4 downs per 10 yards, and sorry, Brady, you don't get 5 downs in a game, moron. So, with that being said, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to come out and light them up. Their defense is good, but I think Rodgers can play this one really well. He's been playing some phenomenal ball right now. Going to be tough to beat them. Wouldn't be surprised if the Buccaneers win, but I have to go with the Packers in this one. So that's what Ben and I both took. Moving on to Ben's game, we have the LA Rams traveling to the San Francisco 49ers. Ben has pretty much given up on his team. When I told him before the season started, and before we even started doing the podcast for the weekly pick'ems, I told him, like, don't talk up your team. Like, you're getting way overconfident. You're going to fucking jinx them. Oh, bullshit. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're going back to back. Fuck, we're going to destroy everybody. And then the fucking, dominoes started to fall. Every player that you could think of was starting to get injured. But, they had pretty much the majority of their weapons back last week on offense. They have a few pieces that are missing on defense. You have Bosa, and you got, I can't remember his name, the one that Ben always talks shit on or whatever, so it really isn't much of a big deal anyway. And then you have Sherman that was out. I'm sure there's a few others, but we let them up. And we stopped them on offense, too. So, they had Kittle back. You had their Mostert, their running back. Jimmy Garoppolo was back. George Kittle was back. Debo was back. I think I may have already said Kittle twice, but whatever. They had the majority of their weapons and their key weapons that took them to the Super Bowl last year. So Ben can talk all that shit he wants, but he knows deep down that his team just fucking got ass raped by my fucking Dolphins. So, anyways, moving on for that part of my trash talk. Sorry, that's what he was missing. That's why he didn't show up tonight. I think he's too scared to basically know how bad his team is. So I'm just kidding, Ben. Fuck off. But anyway, so surprisingly, we're both taking the Los Angeles Rams in this game. Rams have been playing really good ball. They've been quietly under the radar, playing excellent. Like, Jared Goff is actually playing like a decent quarterback. Like, I talked so much crap on that kid before the season started, and he's proven me wrong so far. So, I don't think it will be a high-scoring game. I think it will probably be a field goal wins it. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Rams. 49ers have just been playing god-awful. So, all right. So, moving on, we have 2 Monday night games this week. We have the Kansas City Chiefs traveling all the way to the Buffalo Bills. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs on this game. I think you have a very determined Kansas City Chiefs team that got embarrassed last week playing against the Raiders at home and losing at home to the Raiders. They're definitely not a team to piss off because I've seen it happen. They lost one last year, and then they come back the next week and just start shit stomping teams. So I kind of look for this to happen too. The Bills' defense is so depleted. I don't think that they have anybody that can stop um, Patty Mahomes on defense. So I think this is going to be another high. I think it's going to be an extremely high scoring game. Um, I don't know. It should be a Chiefs victory, in my opinion. Ben is going with the Buffalo Bills. I think he thinks that it was a fluke that the Bills got beat that bad against the Titans. Me, Allen was playing some dang good ball, but he threw like two interceptions. Just looked horrible. Or maybe it was three. I can't remember. I think it was either two or three interceptions that he threw last week. He just looked horrible, and you get pressure on him. The kid can't handle under pressure. So I'm taking the Chiefs in this one, and Ben's taking the Bills. So guess we'll see and find out what happens that night. And then the final game, the late Monday night game, we have the Arizona Cardinals traveling to the Dallas Cowboys. Sorry. Well, they got Andy Dalton for the Cowboys now. Dak is done for the season. Cardinals, they beat the living crap out of the Jets, but like I said, they're the Jets. Only team that the Jets seem to really play good against is my Dolphins. It never fails. So that's really kind of hard to determine how to go by it based off of that. But I'm going to go with the Cardinals. I think that they have what it takes to beat a Dakless team. Andy Dalton, he came in. I think he led them. Well, he pretty much led them to the victory. But like they were going based off of emotion. With Dak going down with that injury, you could tell it affected that team tremendously. But they were also playing against the Giants. So, like, that's really kind of hard to determine how well they're going to play against a team that can actually score points. I look for Murray to at least have 3 throwing touchdowns in this game and probably rushing for 1. He was like a man on fire last week. So, I'm going to take the Cardinals. Ben is going with the Cowboys in this one. Really kind of shocked by that, but he's calling it an extremely close game. So he took the Cowboys, and the final score will be Cardinals 30, Cowboys 34. I'm going a little bit different. I'm saying let's see here. Can't remember what I said. Okay, I want the Cardinals 27, Cowboys 14. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Who you think is going to win this week for the Pick'ems for Week 6. I know it kind of sucks just me doing it by myself, but, what can you say? Ben was too scared to come on today. No, he doesn't. It's nothing like that, no. He had his family stuff doing, so that's completely understandable. I don't mind doing this. I just being a little lazy this week and didn't feel like editing, so I might as well just go live and do it with this and do it to an actual audience for once. But obviously, nobody even wants to say anything, so oh well. Anyways, thank you for listening to me. Hopefully, he'll be back for Week 7, and we'll go more from there. So, you guys tune in next week to the Ben and Bryan Show. Peace out.